Hi everyone, this is the tutorial for Stuck. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. To play the song the easiest, we need a capo on the first fret. If you're in need of a capo, there is a link to one in the description below. However, we're going to get stuck in with the opening of the song. There is a first verse which has just two chords that we need to work out. The first shape is a C major chord. If you're not familiar with C, we have a 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on the B, and an open E. We don't play the low E string for this one. The other chord for the first verse is an F major, which is a similar shape. We've got 3 on the D, 2 on the G, 1 on the B and E. I should mention that all these numbers are in reference to the capo. For the first verse, we're looping back and forth between C and F 2 times round. And there's not a huge amount of guitar in this song, so we can take a bit of liberty over how we play it. And what I think fits the verse really well is this rhythm. So I'll break that right hand pattern down. So we've got down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. Slowly, down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. And to count along, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to play that pattern twice for each chord. So there's 2 bars for each chord. Again. Again. So, C to F, and then repeat it again for the first verse. We then get to the pre-chorus, which brings in a new chord. So it's worth mentioning that if you like the chord chart for this song, which has the full structure with all the chords wrote in it, as well as a sheet with the chords and the lyrics matched up, let's say you're singing or playing along, you need to know which chord goes with which lyric, head on over to Patreon. I've got you covered. For the price of a coffee, you get access to not only this song, but close to 700 songs of all the latest releases over the past few years. So feel free to check that out. But digging in with that pre-chorus, we have an A minor, which is an open A string, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E. And there's only one more chord, an F major, which we've already played. We're going to follow the same pattern of 2 lots of A minor, and then 2 lots of F. Play that just one time round, unlike the first verse, which was twice around those chords, and you've got yourself the pre-chorus. Now you may have noticed, on the F chord I did this. There are a few little techniques that you can put into your guitar playing to make these chords that kind of hold for a long time sound a bit more interesting. And it's usually called hammering on the notes of a chord. So for the C major chord, for example, you can hammer on this finger, and all that means is play the chord without that finger, and then hammer it on after you've played the chord. You get that kind of sound. And it works really well. I'll do it for the A minor with that finger. I'll do it with the F major with that finger. So for example, I'll just play through those chords. Again. I'll do it for the F. I'll do it for the A minor. In fact, you can do it for 2 fingers. And it just adds a little bit more texture to your playing. Jumping into the next part of the song, which is the chorus, we bring all of the chords together. We have 2 lots of C major, 2 lots of F, 2 lots of A minor, and finally 2 lots of F major again. And after a very small interlude of just a C major chord, we then start to get a little bit more repetition. Now just look over to my notes, which is what's available on Patreon. We have a second verse, which is C to F. The first verse you did it twice, second verse just once, because then it goes to a pre-chorus, A minor to F, just like the first one. We then get another chorus, C major to F, A minor to F. So we've almost got a direct repeat. It's just one time around the verse instead of 2 times. However, we then get to the bridge where not only do we have some new chords, but yeah, a new chord progression. And we start off with C major, so in the usual way. But then we go to a new chord of D minor, which is an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, 1 on the high E. Now a lot of people play D minor like that, with their ring finger on fret 3 of the B string. However, go with whatever you feel comfortable with. I feel like my little finger fits there better. As long as you get the right fret in the string, it doesn't matter. The other new chord that we need is an E minor, which is an open E string, 2 on the A, 2 on the D, and 0 on the remaining strings. And then it goes to an F major for 2 bars. Now the D and the E minor have a quick change between them. For example, when we start off with C, we have a full bar, then a quick change, and then 2 bars of F. I'll do that again. So it's C, D for 2, E for 2, and a full 2 bars for F major. You'll play that chord progression round twice, technically just like I have, for the bridge. Then after a regular chorus, we have a bit of a post-chorus, which kind of combines a chorus and a bridge together. Let me demonstrate, because this is how we end the song. So we have the C major, D minor to E minor, 2 lots of F. So up to now, just like the bridge. But then we have the A minor for 2 bars, and F for 2 bars. So yeah, it's kind of like the post-chorus is now a bridge and the last part of a chorus put together. So yeah, lots of different chords. So it might be worth checking out that link to everything on Patreon so you've got everything wrote out without any need to write it down and potentially make a mistake. However, if you get to that point, you have got to the end of the song. So if you found it useful, please do like and subscribe and consider getting that extra material on Patreon. I also want to say a very quick thanks to the people floating by on the screen. Those folks are my active patrons, so the moment this video goes live, they'll get access to that content straight away. So thanks to them for their support, thanks to you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.